minor upgrade.
How's it hanging? It's Web Studios here. I'm Reed.
And I'm Jax.
And we finally did it.
We got a face shell.
Unfortunately, face shells, while not being comfortable, are kind of necessary as we've come to learn. A lot of our suits kinda look bad.
Since many of these previous suits have not looked great, we've actually decided to buy 2 face shells. One of them is going to be this Homecoming and MCU face shell, and we're hoping that it's going to give us the full movie accurate look and the shaping of Tom Holland's face, unlike our faces are able to produce with just a half face shell or nothing.
A lot of you guys might remember that we just recently made a video about why we don't like face shells. If you had stayed to the end of that video, then you would have learned our true opinions. That's why it's very important that you guys watch to the end of our videos. There's sometimes crucial information.
After having so many suits that don't look comic accurate, we decided that we really wanted to try out face shells. We didn't really know where we were gonna look since so many other face shells have failed, so we went around and we asked some people at cons as well as other cosplay friends, and we looked into some videos about face shells. We found a couple creators, mainly Matthew DC, who's very popular for making face shells, but it was just so expensive to get his stuff shipped over here that it was just unrealistic for us to be able to buy a face shell from him. There were many other creators that we did look into, but Matthew DC was definitely the top of the list. However, it was just not feasible for us to go get it. So we decided to keep looking, and eventually we went on Etsy and we found the creator of FJ.
So the face shells that we ordered were both only like $100, which you guys know is really good for face shells, especially considering some of the other ones would have been at least like $300. So we really got a good deal. Unfortunately, we weren't expecting them to be the highest quality just due to the fact that they're so cheap. However, we can say that we were pleasantly surprised with how nice they are. They far surpass any of the other face shells that we've gotten in this channel's history. They look amazing, they're light, and they really are worth $100. Shipping was like $10. It got here in like 2 weeks. The creator of these face shells also sells masks, like super high quality replica masks, like urethane webs and screen printed textures and stuff like that. However, they were kind enough to create just the face shells, specifically on this MCU one, just for us. Normally it comes with the mask, but she was more than willing to make just the face shell for us.
So a huge thank you to FJ for the face shell, and with all of that out of the way, let's finally look into some of the details of this face shell. So some of the basic details about this, it comes with 3 parts, the 2 lenses and then the actual face shell itself. The lenses already come pre-painted, so they already look movie accurate right out of the box.
The entire mask, including the frames of the lenses, is completely 3D printed. However, this is some of the best 3D printing we've ever seen. We don't think that it's resin 3D printing, however, it honestly could be. It looks fantastic, and it was clearly sanded exceptionally well.
The actual face shell itself is made out of a glow-in-the-dark looking filament. It's not actually glow-in-the-dark, but it does look like that in certain lighting. I actually sized it to my head when I originally ordered it, so it is going to fit my face perfectly without having a ton of gappage. The mask does come with plenty of holes for ventilation. Unlike RPC Studio face shells and many other ones which only have a very small amount of holes around the mouth area, the holes on this face shell extend to the entirety of the shell, which allow for a lot more ventilation when you're wearing the shell. The lens area here is actually indented, so that way when you put the lens on, it's going to sit more flush with the mask. The attached lenses from Heroes Time often jut out a lot, and they don't look quite as accurate to the movies, so having this indent here for the lenses to kind of come in makes it to look a lot more accurate. It does come with magnets around all 4 of these spots. They are taped in, so if you guys do want to order this and put a mask that you want to stay on there forever, you can actually put the mask underneath and then tape everything in so that it won't move around. There is also a slight cutout on the edge here to allow your ears to stick out when you're actually wearing the face shell, and so it doesn't actually hurt your ears or pinch them when you're wearing it.
Now onto the lenses. These lenses have an exceptional build quality. You don't really see anything like these on Heroes Time lenses, and it really is really impressive to see these lenses look so good. Not only are they super duper glossy, exactly like in the movies, including the actual lens part, but the frames too.
Now that we've gone over some of the overall general details about these lenses, let's look at them more in depth. On these lenses, you can see they have replicated the shutter pattern that you see from the lenses in the movies very well. It looks like it's actually able to move like how it does in the movies. There is a slight outline on the edge, which is actually accurate if you look at some of the images from the concept art and from the footage of the movies. There is always a slight outline on the edge, which you guys can see here. The lenses are glossy because there's a plastic piece on the front here, which actually makes it look more like an actual lens and helps it to reflect with the sunlight and any kind of light that you guys put on it. On the back, there is a mesh pattern that was glued on, as you guys can see on the edges. The magnets are glued on the corners here to help match up with the face shell.
Speaking of the magnets, they are incredibly strong. I mean, I can pop them in here very easily, and I mean, it's not going anywhere. And honestly, it looks great, super flush, and when you put the fabric on, it'll be even more flush with the actual mask. As you can see, the details on the Heroes Time one are not quite as subtle as the real one. The black is quite a bit darker. Even when I move the light, you can still see that the black is significantly darker on these, but it is glossier, which is obviously more accurate to the movie.
Now that we've looked at all of the details of this face shell, let's see how it looks with a mask.
What are you doing?
This is just my new mask, man!
Dude, you're just posing. It looks dumb.
So here's what it looks like with an actual mask on. As you can see, it doesn't look very seamless. That's just because we haven't gotten an MCU mask with eye holes or one that's actually fitted to be able to work with these. We just ripped the lenses off of one of our other ones that was attached.
Overall, the shaping is absolutely great. It really does look very professional, and it looks a lot like the movies. And like we said, the lens is also very, very flush with the mask. But that looks honestly great, especially when we get another mask. It might look a little bit better. However, we really think that this looks absolutely phenomenal, and it really is elevating our masks to be a lot better than they were before. Another great aspect of this face shell is its flexibility. It really has great flexibility. It's obviously not going to be super flimsy, which is not what you want, but you want something that's flexible, meaning that it can take a little bit of stress before snapping, and it's not super brittle, but it's also, you know, not like super duper bendy. This really excels in that. It's honestly the perfect balance, and it's a lot better than some of the other ones that we've had, which are either the flimsiest thing that you've ever seen or the most brittle thing that you've ever seen.
Overall, I would highly recommend this face shell. If you guys do want to check out the seller, FJ, we'll leave a link to our Etsy page in the comments, but I would really recommend this face shell. I think it looks absolutely amazing, and it really recreates that movie accurate look. So if you guys are looking into getting a face shell and you don't want to pay the super high shipping prices from somebody like Matthew DC on Instagram, then I think this is a great option. I think it's very good for the money, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody that wants to get into face shells but doesn't want to spend an arm and a leg. If you guys made it this far into the video, make sure to check out our Instagram and our Patreon. They'll be linked in the description below. Anybody that signs up to our Patreon will get a shout out in the end of our videos, so if you guys want to get a shout out, then that's a great way to do it.
Also remember to like and subscribe, and remember, with great power comes great responsibility.